So we have something called Kokyu. And Kokyu, we define it as the following, okay? So it's alchemically treated yang aspect that is released at a higher yang value to the contact point. That is Kokyu, okay? We have Kokyu Ho. So Kokyu Ho means method or means in this case. It's a different kanji from the Ho of Shiho Nage, which means for direction. That one means direction. Okay, this Kokyu Ho, this kanji Ho means method or means. So Kokyu Ho means method of cultivating Kokyu, or method of cultivating alchemically treated yang aspect and releasing it at a higher yang value to the contact point with uke. Okay. The short form of that is projection. That's what I call projection. Okay. Otherwise, it's long. What happens if I release alchemically treated yang aspect not at a higher yang value than the contact point with uke? Well, for example, if I release it at an equal yang value to the contact point, that generates aiki. Okay. So here, if you look at it, the means by which Kokyu is developed and the means by which aiki is developed, though that means is the same. It's what value are you releasing that alchemically treated yang? Is it greater than the contact point with uke, or is it equal to the contact point? Okay. If it's greater than, you'll see uke project, or as some of you have referred to it as bounce off. They bounce off of you. Okay. If it's equal to, then they'll adhere. They'll get stuck. They'll feel like a friction there, like Velcro or something. They can't get off of it. Okay. They have to counter that adhesion. Okay, that's what I call an adhesion. All right. In normal Kokyu Ho, it assumes you're doing that, but as we know, because everyone practices Kokyu Ho and no one has internal skills as I just described, that it must not work. Okay. Meaning you can do the technique Kokyu Ho without doing Kokyu Ho. You know, meaning you can do what has come to be known as Kokyu Ho, but you're not actually cultivating Kokyu. You're not doing the internal alchemy. Okay. So to help shed light on that, what we've done here is we've brought a spontaneous training environment to this alchemical cultivation drill. And as I always like to do, kill as many birds with one stone as possible. So in doing this drill now spontaneously, you will have to use an intermediate range grappling skill, which is called following. Okay. So Aikido Kihon Waza functions at a range greater than like the clinch, but closer than blocking and striking. And in order to make that range viable martially, you need to know how to stick and adhere, or follow and adhere, okay? You need to know how to do that, because once she feels an adhesion, she's gonna try to get out of it like anyone else would. And you will lose contact with them if you don't know how to follow. If you know how to follow, their counter to the adhesion just sets up the next adhesion or the next projection point. And so we're working on that as well in this drill. So to repeat, one, we have a drill where you can't fake you're doing Kokyu Ho, cultivation of alchemically treated yang aspect. And two, we brought in another martial skill that is just assumed in Kokyu Ho, assumed in Aikido Kihon Waza, and that is the ability to follow. Okay? So that's what we're doing in this drill. So you task in this game that she's trying to hit me in the chest, okay? And I'm trying not to let her hit me in the chest, okay? She can do whatever she wants to do. I would use the other hand since I'm grabbing this hand. Okay? She can do whatever she wants, okay? And very quickly you learn, like, if I grab something, I'm open to the other one. It just happens too fast, okay? So usually you'll go, like, you'll start to work this stuff, you see? But eventually she'll counter that, just gets out of it, and she hits the chest, okay? And so it sets up the need for Aiki and Kokyu, which is assumed in this mid-range grappling, because you can't really grab things to keep control of somebody, and two, you can't deflect things to keep control of somebody. At this range, eventually they're going to get through. Here it's a simple game of touch the chest, but if you make that a knife, then I'm dead. Okay, so a couple things. Also, we keep it seated so that we don't take advantage of our footwork and our mobility to deal with our inability to project, adhere, and follow. Okay, that's why we do this. So I don't like to see people moving around and stuff because now it's not working. We're not making it hard enough to make this work. Okay. So a couple things as we go, she goes, is I don't want to be reaction. So she went and I went. That's not how it is. So just like in all the weapons work, I'm already in a psycho-spiritual adhesion with her or communion. So I can feel her intention. She goes and I reach for her. So on that one, you went for this hand, right? Hey, let me slow down because it's probably too fast. But you'll see that my hand came to you, and then the other hand was already waiting, if you paid attention. It wasn't that I went here, and then you went there, and I went like that. So you guys are not seeking the connection, okay? And so you're not preceding the physical connection with the spiritual connection, okay? So a simple thing is you're like, I don't know what the fuck you mean by a spiritual connection. All right, reach out for them. You're going to be better off, okay? So you go and I reach for you. Now I make contact, okay? And now if I stay here where it's just deflection, you can feel that you don't really have to do anything. I think you can push through that, you see? Or maybe I push on your skin and you can feel, what do you want to do? Yep, she wants to go around it, okay? As opposed to when I reach out and, oh, that's weird, okay? Something, I don't know, you have to describe it.
I feel like there's a wall.
There's a wall there, but if you pay attention, is there a place to get around it? Not in a subtle way, right? You got to make a big movement to get around it. And then what else you noticed is your joints got all locked. Look how weird look at your weird body right now. Okay, so stay there if you can. I'll find you again. But you're like this. You see, whereas in the beginning, look how comfortable you are. You know you can move all your joints. But boom, and we're here again. The joints get locked, okay? And then pay attention to your posture. You're in a lean as opposed to here. Okay? So as soon as I touch, however I touch, I want those joints locked and I want your posture compromised, okay? And you'll do whatever, because if you don't, then I'm going to get you. Do you see? So she'll do whatever. She got out of it, but I just rolled that in. So let's go over here. Okay, so she's trying to do this counter. Go around it like you did. Do you see? Okay. Only we're in this tilt. So when she goes around it, and then I take it more into the tilt. Do you see? And then the joints are more locked. And that's that follow part. Okay? So here's the joints and the posture. You try to get out of it. and I followed it to the next adhesion point. So I'm going to let go of this side, even though it helps with the adhesion. And this is what I mean. You see how it has a pulling energy to it, okay? It has a pulling energy, right? Clearly. But if you went over here, go ahead and get out of it, and push on my hand. Nope, push on my hand this way. And you see that it had that wall effect too. You see? Okay, so I reach for you and I get you in that same thing. You see, it's right there. Even your breathing has stopped. Okay, so then you would get around it, however, and I take it into the next one again. So it looks like Kokyu hole in a way. If you grab it, looks like Kokyu hole. In that, as soon as you touch, you can do it. But you can't tell in the camera that she was trying to get around in all these different ways. Okay. So what I like to do is give you chances to get out. You see. So I'll like hold you here and let you move. The other thing I'll do is start it like shoo, and I'll pull. I like to feel, because I'm trying to cultivate those skills, right? There's no need to pull you, but you can feel that great friction on your hand, right? And so that is the Aiki. Like, I'm going to emit the yang value equal to the hand contact. Oh, like there's no point in martially to do that, but in terms of cultivating the skill, I am cultivating it, you see. So sometimes I do that. Sometimes I know I have you here, but I pull you back into the technique again to give you another chance. This one's all, we'll go back here. She goes around it. That's all following there. But as I follow, I take it right into the connection again. You see, it's right here. Then the next thing I do is I have to resist the temptation to contrast you, to contest you. Okay. So, and that's what allows me to get in crazy situations and have fun with this kind of stuff, as opposed to you go, and I'm like here, and I'm doing this kind of stuff, trying to shut you down. You see that? You can move pretty freely. And so with that, I can talk, you can keep doing. With that, I try to always release the reactionary tension in my body. So that's me holding her in that balance with the adhesion and the fluctuation to the Kokyu. Okay? It's different, huh? Okay.